shine, which is the statue of Torrent, because in the instance it was up against another water deck. I think it's pretty good against Dinkas.
Yeah, no big fire monsters coming out of the hand. None of those Fire King Grunixes. I think he runs both copies, does he? From Dinka.
And here comes the first interruption, though. An effect Veiler, unfortunately, is still going to be able to resolve that Dragoon, so doesn't quite stop the card completely.
Yeah, one of the most powerful normal summons in the game by quite a long way, really. You get to send a card as cost, but it's not really a cost, it's more of an upside, as you also then get to search a card, and then whatever you sent gets to activate. And here we see that other very powerful card peeking at Dinka's hand, gonna take away any further interruption.
Kind of a rough end, but he's not gonna go after. Yeah, oh, all right.
It's not that good.
Yeah, it's not talent, but I mean, you can tell his muscle memory kicking in right now. Oh, but the statue is discarded this time around.
Isn't it easier now to get back? You just get it off the Marincess
so,
link?
exactly.
It doesn't negate any effects, the Marincess link, does it? Or
yeah, you can absolutely get it back. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, that's an incredible opener. I mean, you have mentioned it plenty of times. This deck is definitely not the control one. You go in, you can set up multiple totally awesome, go for the Coelegant, as Ed revealed to me. It's not actually pronounced Coelegant.
Yeah, do you think he's not running it, or do you think he's just got it in his hand because he went to summon the Atlantean, the new Atlantean, instead of the Coelegant? So
he's definitely running it.
Must be in his hand.
Yeah, and Niels is not playing the Mullen Glacier, by the way, so it's...
okay.
Yeah.
Seems like a trend this weekend for most of our Mermail duelists.
Yes, indeed. So that's a bit of a downside not drawing the Coelegant. That really seems like, you know, getting a few extra monsters from the deck gives you that extra Toad. So not quite as strong as we'd hoped. And the statue, whilst quite powerful, can just be attacked over with any normal summoned Fire King.
Yeah, we know the Arvata, and obviously Extravagance is also a pretty good way to start things off. We can negate it with the Totally, but...
what is this? Is like the
Abyss Keeper, I think, right? Yes.
Oh, I was thinking of Starboy, but it's not Starboy. It does something else, right?
I think this is the first time I've ever seen Dinka read a card. Usually it's the other way around. Yeah.
Oh, well, here we are. If you've drawn the Coelegant, then you can summon it with the Abyss Keeper. So I guess that's the purpose of it here.
This is great. Yeah.
Wow.
Look at this.
Yeah, what a find. Gets to summon the fish from end, and yeah, still accomplishes so much.
I think this is the first time we've seen this card in action, right?
Did he change his mind on the third fish?
No. I think Dink is just reading it.
Ah, no, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking down and yeah.
So you can very kindly give back the Arvata that they were going to get back anyway, and summon a water monster from your deck. You can't use the Abyss Keeper as a link material, so we're not going to be able to link up into something further, but I think at this point he will get to the statue quite easily. It's just a matter of what else he's going to do. Can he make a second Toad? I think you can, right, with the new Atlantean XYZ?
Not quite at the moment what we are going for. This is again another great addition. And yeah, definitely not the amount of reading we are used to seeing, but I mean, I can't really blame him. Although it has shown, you know, pretty good performance this event, it's definitely not the most represented deck by any means.
So no statue going to be summoned here since it's already been used. But instead, we just get another Dragoons, which is perfectly serviceable. Going to turn the Dragoons and Pike now, I guess, into Toad number 2.
That's great. Yeah, there is a bit of a nuance, as you've mentioned, because we're going to have to find some use for the extra monster zone, because we cannot use it for a link summon.
Does the Marincess link is it one of those that needs to point to the monster it summons, or is it one of those that can just summon anywhere? Let's have a little look. Not that it matters too much since it has an arrow pointing to the left.
It does. Yeah,
It does?
It does.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm a bit... Oh, no, it's fine. You have to link it first, right? Because if you use the shark here, then you'll have a toad. You have to summon toad into that zone.
It does work, but that zone was quite important, wasn't it? I mean,
Oh,
I
you-
guess this works still, yeah.
You can just summon it this way anyway. They've got a surplus of options here.
Yeah, this is so good. Again, one of the latest support in the updated version of Abyss Strike, we could say. Not quite the rank 3 that we were used to seeing back in the day.
What an opener. I think this is by far one of the best ones we have since this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we saw something similar against, again, water deck. This is a fire deck. Do we have any non-engine in Dinka's deck? Can out this something along the lines of, I don't know, droplet or...
I mean, he's running impermanence, but that's probably not going to be quite enough.
No droplets.
No droplet, no.
And yeah, we adding the infantry there, so with the shrine in hand, you can like check the normal summon of Dinka.
Opening.
So I guess there's kind of nothing.
That's
be
it.
done.
One more draw, and I mean, in its miracle, the end was not that great. We had the extravagance, which most likely you're gonna negate, or it depends. I guess there are two different school of thoughts about this. What do you think, Tom?
I think once you've seen the hand and you know like there are 3 cards that do nothing.
Yeah.
So there's only the extravagance and the top decked card. So you just negate it, and then you negate whatever else the other card is.
But not
no.
the
Okay.
case. I totally agree with you, by the way. But
Totally agree.
totally agree. You got it.
But I think you're very unlikely to lose either way.
Yeah, but just, I mean, with that extra information, why not? And now we see the Arvata.
Oh, Arvata can actually... it has to destroy a card in hand, does it? To negate effects? Or, sorry, does it have to destroy on the field, or can it destroy something in the hand?
No, you can also destroy from hand. I'm checking just the boost, because it gets boosted, right?
Yeah, by 300.
No, for each material, though.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give the bonus points to Niels.
It makes your hand better.
Ooh, and we drop already the Purulia, but we have the Ash to negate it.
I like it. Even the hand traps are water and fire themed.
Yes, that's great.
I was wondering as to how much that hurts Dinka, but obviously if he's willing to Ash Blossom it, then it's doing something.
Yeah, I mean,
something about
I
the
have
deck?
seen Dinka's. Oof! Wow. Extravagance seems to be glued to Dinka's hand.
It's one of those cards that's absolutely perfect going first and then going second. Downside being it's not a card you can use as a hand trap at the beginning of the game. So if your opponent, and if you draw into any hand traps, then you can't use it. So amazingly, even just drawing 2 nowadays can sometimes be too slow. Makes you wonder if players would actually include Pot of Greed in their main deck.
Yeah, you'd like to, right? But we have seen a lot of pots being played during this weekend, and I think it makes a lot of sense to play the extravagance into Dinka's deck to give consistency, and also playing, you know, the one Pearl of Prosperity as well.
Yeah, all the pots. I guess he has much less need for his extra deck than some others.
Yeah.
You can see he's got those kind of redundancy copies of Promethean Princess. Amazing how we used to see that card absolutely everywhere,
Oof.
and then not again.
This might be a rough one. The impermanence seems like it was enough to stop Dinka. Just 2 face downs. And that's
Wow.
a pretty good thing
Yeah,
to
very
start
good
things
start.
off.
Yeah.
Let's see if there is anything from...
Here comes the new Poseidra. Oh wow, this can bounce face downs as well.
This card is unbelievable, honestly, and it's such a great addition to the deck. And now also with the Dragoons being sent to the graveyard, then we'll also be able to search another one. And yeah, the face down is set.
Neil's just clarifying the chain links here. A lot of the Atlanteans, I think maybe all of them are mandatory, so when they're sent to the grave, it does force you to activate them in a particular order, because mandatory effects must be activated on a chain before optional ones. But given there's 2 Atlanteans, you can use them both in any order you like, because they are both mandatory. Wow, imagine using this Minstrel on your opponent's, you know, after you've gone second, you still want to look at your opponent's hand. Still holding a decent fist of cards, Dinka.
And this is gonna resolve, it seems. Let's see. Yes. Is it? No, we are still thinking about it. Yeah, and it is resolving,
Wow.
and this is big. Once it resolves, again, it's one of those cards that reminds, you know, in a way of the duo drive. It gives you so much advantage. Wow, after coming this far, Dinka definitely with his back against the wall in this one.
Yeah, 1 normal summon. You're right. It's a bit like you just add 2. I mean, would you rather have a normal summon or a rank 4 that adds 2? Easier to get to the rank 4, I guess, because you can get it with any variety of monsters. But as you say, like in the way you add 2, but also in the way that like it just often spells victory for the person who activates the card and successfully resolves it.
Indeed.
Do you think he was using the Minstrel or the Shrine there by discarding 2? I'm guessing the Minstrel because it was on top.
Yep.
There was
And we take a look.
There was
We
Neb.
did set the impermanence, and that was sent back from the Poseidra. Yeah, we are now defenseless outside of this last face down card.
Yeah, I don't know what magic it could be. I don't think there's any super powerful traps. People have been kind of going away from this idea of, you know, getting these super powerful cards off thrust. Oh, are we about to see the Poseidra extra deck monster now, turning all of his water monsters into a level 7? I was getting ahead of myself. Maybe we'll use the Abyss Trite in a second to rank up into Poseidra Abyss and then bounce the rest of Dinka's cards to his hand.
Yeah, this is resolving. It seems like we did it the right one with that Poseidra, as Dinka is not really interacting anymore, and we do upgrade.
This is unbelievably powerful, this card. You get to send a card from your deck to the grave as a cost.
And it's basically Mistworm.
Yeah, exactly. You've been playing a lot of 2010. That's your first reaction. Yeah, we look at all these Atlanteans we're sending to the grave as costs. Bye-bye Prince. So we're going to be able to use that effect in a second. And then goodbye probably to a Dragoons. Oh, he's still got the statue in his deck going second, which is very ambitious. But yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I guess against other matchups, you definitely take it out. Maybe if your Dinka's deck is a little bit more, you know, on the grind side, and then if you think about it, it tends to set up a lot of monsters in the graveyard with the Garunix and the Ponyx, and then you can just summon the statue there, and all of those are shut off. And so why not? Makes sense to me. And yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a lot of damage.
How much does he have on the field? 76, right?
Well, yeah, if he gets the Coelacanth out of his deck right now, that would threaten
last chance to
8,000.
interact. Do we have a Dominus card, anything like that?
It's been there this whole
Yes,
time.
it is. It is the impulse, so was really patient with it, but now Nils knows everything that's left.
The Imperm is now live once again, worth keeping in mind.
Absolutely.
I guess there wasn't a time to use it on the Atlantean Shadow Squad, since Neil's probably arranged his chain so that it wouldn't work.
And is it just another copy? Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, he's not used the special summon effect, so I suppose you can just special summon it. And is it 2/6?
Wait.
2/8? Oh, okay. But we're not going to do that
we're not
quite
going
yet.
for that. Wow.
I mean, you have the grave effect. of the Poseidra.
As you've mentioned, though, he just needs to be careful about that impermanence, which, you know, in the back of your mind might just be kind of like, oh, that card cannot be used, you know?
Yeah.
And now it's actually back online.
This feels like enough stuff to win through impermanence, but I guess we've got to see him play it out.
Yeah, here we are gonna use the Marincess.
Not quite got access to any tuners yet, as far as I can tell. So stuck to Lynx and XYZ monsters for the time being. Do you think Dinka's thinking on the Marincess?
Yeah, he's definitely thinking, which I think, you know, is gonna activate Neil's sense regardless, even if he lets it through. He will now probably think back to that impermanence. And yeah, you can tell Dinka is just trying to figure out if there is an optimal way to use it to just hopefully get another turn.
Yeah, it can be one of those cards sometimes. It's quite a minimal effect, so sometimes you want to hold it until you find the best chance, but then you find there was never a good chance and your opponent just attacked you for 8,000 before you got a chance. So maybe you just use it now and hope, but...
And yeah,
makes sense.
There it comes. And now finally, for Niels, Dinka is really out of responses, and let's see if we can get enough damage on the field.
Oh, here comes the Minstrel effect, which doesn't often get used. I think you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the grave, and I think it's a cost, so if you hit any Atlanteans, then you get to use the effect. And I was wrong, it is actually a tuner as well, so I want to see Trishula. I don't think it's in his extra deck, but... What do you think he is looking at? Has he used Poseidra to special summon itself? Because that would be quite a lot of damage if he hasn't used Poseidra already. Can't remember the attacks of all of the little monsters on the field.
Oh, no, he's entering Ban of Face.
Don't think that's...
That's definitely not 8,000,
Yeah,
no. I think they're about it like that. I feel like they're all around 1,000.
28, 48, and...
Yeah, so it seems like unless there is some surprise, Dinka will get to live for another turn.
But I feel like he's somewhat stripped of resources anyway, even though this wasn't everything that Niels would have hoped. He knows exactly the hand. The Nibiru is going to come back during the end phase, but it's going to be way past the point of being useful. So just got that Ponix and the... what's the name of the level 4 that destroys a card and searches that he summoned last turn. Very bad with names this weekend.
Arvada, you mean? Or Arvada?
No, Volcanics.
The normal summon, okay.
Yeah, those are the 2 remaining cards, right? That's what we saw. One got bounced.
Yeah, then Nibiru is back. Not that it does all that much. And
fortunate that it comes back during the end phase.
Yep.
You have to do a lot of reading this round.
Absolutely. Definitely as an opening, as you've mentioned, not the greatest of ends, but this felt a little underwhelming given you know, the amount of plays that Niels were going through. I do think he's holding into his own impulse.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what it was.
So let's see.
Which is very strong against the Garunix if it gets added off Volcanics, which feels like quite a common line.
Yeah. Gonna check his own graveyard. Doesn't have much.
What does the new Poseidra do when it's sent to the grave for an effect as a cost? I probably should know by now because we've watched it resolve a few times.
You can discard 1 card basically. I know, you mean the XYZ?
No, the new main deck monster.
I don't think it has an additional effect for that. No.
Oh, that's not very Atlantean of it.
Yeah. It does enough, I think. All right, so we get to play. So I think...
Yeah, it looks like Garunix was the top deck card. So full information for Niels. There's a Garunix.
So definitely an opening again for Dinka. Now able to add his quick spell.
Yeah, far more options
Kyber.
for Dinka than he would like to see probably for Niels. I think you can't really do this, right? If it's destroyed, it gets its effect. But is it destroyed, come to think of it?
Ooh. And I think this was the card that
There was an imperm, yeah.
yeah.
Do you have to destroy it?
That's a really good question.
Dinka seems to think you do. He's just put his card straight in the grave.
Yeah.
But this is going to trigger a whole host of Fire King effects.
Unfortunately, it is mandatory. The destruction actually coming to cost Niels.
Yeah, it's really tricky there because I think you really wanted to wait for it on the Garunix, but if Dinka was able to destroy, for example, the Organics, he might be able to make a chain in such a way that the Garunix would sneak onto the field without being able to be negated.
Yeah, he's definitely back in this.
Yeah, honestly, that was one of the perfect draws for Dinka. It felt like he was down and out. It felt like the Impulse would be able to deal cleanly with the Garunix being searched, but instead he didn't have to do that. He could get a few more options, having drawn the Garunix off the top.
Yeah, we now have shifted into grind game, and that's where Dinka's deck shines. So,
yeah, I mean, we say grind game, but I'm not sure Niels is going to think of it that way. He's probably just thinking of surviving this turn.
yeah.
Does Dinka run the original Garunix to...
I think
have
so,
a
yeah.
target?
He does. He used it multiple times.
Got to watch out for that in a grind game.
Oh, yeah.
You want to accidentally destroy your own field.
There it is.
What a find. I mean...
Here it comes. The crowd really enjoyed that. That's just
Yeah.
not something we've seen for a very long time.
Absolutely, but yeah, positioning does matter, and unfortunately Niels did choose that middle zone out of the ones available for the Mermail King Neptabis, and he's gonna get punished for it possibly.
So he's poking through his grave now. Maybe now's the time.
Yeah, seems like that is the case. Not gonna check the card even.
Well, you don't need it. You have the
Yeah.
Sidra
I mean,
coming out
still.
here. Yeah.
Still.
He knows what he wants to do. He's just
Yeah,
checking he hasn't
okay.
drawn the card he wanted to send.
It's a spell anyways, so I think he's good.
But he's already used the heavy infantry now, so what other interrupting options does he have? You can make Shadow Squad. There's nothing that adds back from the grave, unless I'm not mistaken. So just bounce the Animo there.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to just send a Teos.
Might buy Niels the turn that he needed. I mean, perhaps this Poseidon really adds to the grind game of the Atlantean deck that in a way that we hadn't necessarily expected.
Totally, but now we are okay. Usually we see this with the Sanctuary during your opponent's turn, but it's good enough like this, and we are gonna duck all the rest of the field away.
As maybe Alcanix will be Chainlink 1, and we're just resolving our Mermail link as Chainlink 2. allowing you to send a card. Is it a cost to send? Oh, special summon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring it up for you guys too.
Thank you very much. This is a very niche card. I feel like it's not used super often.
Yeah, and unfortunately he's gonna shut down the summon. Maybe not something that Dinka was expecting.
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
Yeah, because he's gonna be Chilling 1 and Chilling 2. So the statue comes down first, stopping that Garunix from hitting the field. And now we are holding that Prince Neptabis that we searched last turn. So
I know he discarded it during Dinka's
oh no,
turn,
yeah, that's right. He did.
I'm wondering what the set is. Is it a Fire King card that was searched, or am I just forgetting?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
it's
quick
the
spell.
Skyburn.
Yeah.
The Skyburn was searched. So we do have a lot of recursion available from Dinka.
Yeah.
And most importantly, a lot of resources gone from Niels.
Yeah, for sure. And the Garunix, when it's destroyed, right, it gets it lets you resummon cards equal to the number of Fire Kings that were, well, I think materials it had. But I think that was a call by the grave off the top for Niels.
Yeah,
so
that's what he drew into.
This could be very important.
And it's again the Poseidra.
And this is going to instantly force out the Skyburn. Otherwise, that Garunix is going straight back to the extra deck. Niels patiently holding on to his trump card there, the Call by the Grave.
This is
Whoa,
big.
That's a big ask, especially because I think that was the only activation. And yeah, you can see Dinka really not happy about that. What a clutch draw that Call by the Grave was.
Oh, but no target.
There's no target.
I wonder if Dinka, like, having read a card, it seems like he probably didn't have a side deck plan, but what is the play from Niels?
And here comes Mulcharmi Purulia. Great card against the deck.
Maybe they'll be trading fire and water traps once again.
Doesn't seem like it is the case. Might have resolved.
What will be it? Will it be that all-powerful Atlantean Prince? No, it is a Poseidra.
Theos? No, it is Poseidra. And it's gonna allow Dinka to draw quite a few cards depending what he wants to go for. And there are more and more interruptions in the end from the Fire King player. Let's see what he wants to do though. And here comes an Ash Blossom.
Crowd really showing their support for Dinka here. Obviously, the best start is always just hard drawing that Prince, stopping your opponent from doing anything.
Wow. There is a stop and there comes the Volcanics from Dinka.
Do you just have to activate Imperm and hope?
I
there
think
anything else to do?
I think
That
would be
is the
plan.
case.
Yeah.
Dinka doesn't look too pleased with it. Unfortunately, does not have the outplay with so many of the cards you could just chain, but
Yeah, there are so many Fire King cards here that could be chained instantly to get your Avatar to resolve.
and
It was just
instead we
crashing.
are just gonna crush.
He's showing off his Garunix.
Yeah, it's going to be double Garunix. One, the OG one, at least it seems, and then we are gonna get the new Garunix.
Yeah,
So-
such a powerful engine, right? When you can just attack with your monsters just to get it going.
Ooh, and I see a lot of interruptions
yeah.
in the end from the Inca.
So them as well. Veiler Impermanence.
Wow, Veiler Impermanence Impulse. So many different interruptions available. But in terms of engine, this is about it. So he will be careful about what he wants to destroy here.
He's got an option of 3 Fire Kings, I suppose. The Arvata, the Ponix, or another
And
level
it
8.
is the Ponix taking the safe route, it seems. He knows that, I mean, there is no way he is just gonna lose out given the amounts of interruptions that he has. So why not just play the long game?
In terms of rank 8s, are there any rank 8s except Gurinix? I'm just wondering if there's any super cool rank 8s that we're going to see here, but it looks like...
Yeah, it's the only one, yeah, is playing. But still, I think this is more than enough, and look at this.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are just gonna pass back and then we will be using the Ponyx. This looks great, honestly. How can you fight through Veiler, Impermanence and Impulse?
Yeah,
it's such a big ask.
Seems like a massive challenge.
Here comes heavy infantry, is in another, yeah, Poseidra once more, but there are so many different interruptions from the Inca available.
Is destroying Fire King really the best thing to do?
I mean, it's mandatory.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Okay, seems like it is going to be the original Garunix.
Wait, does something get bounced? Yeah. So maybe you hope to hit the Imperm here.
Absolutely, like it happened in the previous game.
But it's gone back to... I mean, it would be either, right? Either would go back to the hand.
I think it was not the Impermanence, actually, but I might be wrong. Yeah, you can feel the tensions. Only 8 minutes remain. Only one of them can advance.
Yeah, I got so wrapped up in the duel, I wasn't looking at the clock at all. Dinka did have to sacrifice 2,000 life points last turn to get his engine going.
And here is gonna slam down this Impulse.
Oh!
Oh! But, oh.
Yeah. Here comes the normal summon Prince.
The other Neptabis. And also, let me check, because...
No reaction from the crowd, so I'm guessing they might be a little bit partial to Dinka's team here.
We also have the Veiler in hand, right? Which we cannot use anymore. Or
yeah, because Impulse was used from the hand, right?
Yeah, I think it was used from the hand.
So we know the card in hand must be... so the last set is Impermanence.
Yeah.
Nils doesn't know that, but...
That's the one.
What else could it be? I suppose a Skyburn, but Skyburn would be flipped immediately, right? You're never going to let your opponent activate the Prince. So I think Niels can have a pretty good guess that that is a set Impermanence or a bluff.
Yep. And yeah, it's gonna be a close one for sure, but now it's looking more even. And yes, we do see the Impermanence, but I think he's out of interruptions, right? Because it's only Ponyx and Veiler in hand.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Yeah, he's out of it.
Wow.
So it's depends on Nielsen how he can play through this. It's
oof.
Let's see what he searches. Okay.
Yeah, comes the Dragoons. Only 6 minutes. It's gonna come down to the wire.
I feel like there's still quite a lot you can do at this point, right? You have the Marincess link.
Yeah.
You can start making rank 7s.
Yeah, I think we might have got ahead of ourselves with the amount of interruption. Just that normal summon Neptabis is absolutely crazy, and it must have been the top 2. That was so good.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going here to, looks like, make a rank 4 rather than a rank 7, which is a totally fair thing to do. Oh, no, not even a rank 4.
There come the Mermail King. And we are just gonna swing, okay? And return the favor. In this match, we are just crushing our monsters, it seems.
Into one another. But yeah, here comes the Shrine, most likely, right? And you can discard it. You can tribute a monster on the field and get a level 7 from your deck. And we all know everybody's favorite and very old level 7 Super Ancient Deep Sea King Coelacanth. You're going to get a card to search off the Dragoons. So pretty much everything you could hope for right here.
Ooh, the tension is absolutely palpable. If you were here present at YCS Birmingham, I don't think I've ever heard such silence as well from the crowd. Everybody is watching it. Who is it going to beat that advances to the finals? And Niels definitely advancing his claim to that.
Yeah, he's getting an army of a full 4 fish monsters here. That's normally quite a good thing to do off the coelacanth. We're going to be seeing a couple of toads hit the field. Do we start putting our monsters in defense mode? Is it that time of day when you've only got 4 minutes left on the clock?
It is a consideration, but at the same time we still are ahead in terms of life points, and yeah, it's gonna be a bit tough to lose out on that.
Yeah, easier to stay that way when they're in defense though, but you never want to get too far ahead and put your monsters, yeah, because Toad only has well, 0 defense, I think, right? So you don't want to let it get attacked over too easily.
But Niels has been yeah, thinking a bit about this one, and here comes yet again the boss monster of the deck.
God, it just keeps going, doesn't it? It just seemed like he had absolutely nothing. He just passed last turn to just 1 card. Was that a pass to Dinka, or was he just sort of motioning towards his deck?
Not done. He is not done.
He's still got quite a lot to do.
He's still going, and no, it does pass. Wow. So in the standby phase, we are gonna bring back the Garunix and force out this totally awesome.
1 more layer of defense. Does the Toad activate as well to add back a card? Don't want to miss that in the flurry of chains, but adding back an infantry here would be a very good thing to do. Dinka's just resolving everything. I mean, I suppose perhaps the players are going a little bit fast because there's time left on the clock, or do you think he's just missed the effect?
But I mean, I'm getting worried a little bit here because, as you're mentioning, he's playing super fast, but he's back in a good spot. It seems as if Niels maybe was going too much on autopilot mode in the previous turn and wasn't quite able to, you know, make the necessary field. He knew about pretty much the entire end. This is all known cards.
Yeah, here comes the Garunix.
And here comes the Garunix from Dinka, clearing everything. Wow.
Got to keep in mind, though, the Poseidra can still be used. Yep. Discarding a card and special summoning a bunch of monsters. And here the defense mode position is going to come in quite clutch. 1, 2, 3. Can you clear the wall of monsters? Plus the Atlantean Prince going to summon another one from the grave. And we're milling for the Minstrel. So many chains being resolved here. You don't need to go like at the super fast speed if you can play at a normal speed, but he wants to make sure Dinka gets his fair shot.
Yeah, I mean, fair play absolutely by Niels. He's really playing super fast, and yeah, it's not obvious at all.
Yeah, he's going to have a small army of monsters in defense mode here.
And yeah, immediately Dinka just replies with a play of his own.
Does Niels know he's ahead on life points?
Yeah. I'm sure
he's playing like someone who wants to get to his next battle phase. But here we go. Dinka summoning a few monsters back. The Garunix can summon itself back, can it? I guess so. But yeah, how do you just clear 5 monsters having already used the Garunix?
And I think we are just entering battle phase here. So attacking over 3. And can we find any way to push even more damage? In end, we do still have the Sky Burn, and we are gonna move to Memphis 2 real quick, make the Princess, and pass back to Niels. Wow.
Not even bothering to use the Princess, but Niels still got a couple of cards left in his hand. He's drawn the Abisteus.
Oof, drawn Abisteus. Valor cannot be used due to the Dominus Impulse, so he's free to keep on adding, and you can see Dinka really not happy about the situation. Do we have a target? We don't have a target. Oh.
And there comes the Princess. Is that going to be it?
This could totally be it.
Here comes Garunix. 20 seconds left, but that's going to be enough. Just needs to attack and attack.